recognizing and celebrating nonprofits that have gone above and beyond to improve the Northland. These are the Touchstone Awards. Here's your host, Renee Pasal.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Renee Pasal. Over the next half hour, WDIO and the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation will again highlight the outstanding work that has made the Northland better. The Touchstone Awards demonstrate the three values of the Community Foundation: generosity, inclusivity, and civic engagement. Joining me for the celebration is the interim president of the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation, Dave Montgomery.
Thanks, Renee. We're bringing the awards to you in a new way. This year, we're broadcasting our award show here on WDIO, bringing the Touchstone Awards and the stories of the best nonprofit work to everyone in our region. The Touchstones showcase the important projects that the Community Foundation supports across the Northland. From the Iron Range to Northwest Wisconsin to the Twin Ports, up the shore, and all of the communities in the Northland. Each year, the Community Foundation makes hundreds of grants to nonprofits. Tonight, you'll learn about the 4 finalists in the categories of inclusivity and civic engagement. We'll also recognize the winner of our Generosity Award. We give this award each year to an individual or family that stands as an example of giving of time, talent, and treasure to support the good work in all the communities of our region. Once again this year, our Generosity winner has done all that and made quite an impact.
All of our winners have inspiring stories. It was my pleasure to bring them to our viewers in our newscasts. We'll see those stories again tonight and then share the excitement as our winners learn that they're 2020 Touchstone Award recipients. Our 3 Touchstone winners will receive grants of $2,500. Finalists will receive grants of $500. All grants go to support more good work in our region. Coming up, you'll meet the finalists for the Inclusivity Award. One helped the need for more daycare, an issue before, during, and after the pandemic. The other, a project that's raising up the stories of women. As we go to break, we want to thank a special group of supporters who made this Touchstone Awards program so possible.
Giving, engaging, working together. This is the 2020 Touchstone Awards.
Welcome back to the Touchstone Awards. Earlier this year, the COVID-19 pandemic hit the Northland, making a shortage of daycares in some areas even worse. Helping address that need, the Evergrow Learning Center in Ashland. Here's a look at the good work that they're doing. Leonora Ross is now 8 months old, but her mom was only about 8 weeks along when the worry about daycare started.
When we found out that I was pregnant, we immediately got on like 4 different waiting lists.
One of them, Evergrow Learning Center in Ashland. At that time, it was still a work in progress.
It was about a 3-year process from start to finish, from conceptualization to actually having the grand opening and having the governor here.
And have a good school year too. That was in November last year. Despite the pandemic, they are nearly back to capacity with 84 kids.
It's been an ever-evolving process, and it's been quite an exciting first year for them to navigate, but they're doing great.
Mari K. Nabuzny is the CEO of the Northwest Wisconsin Workforce Investment Board and on Evergrow's board of directors.
It became very obvious that we had a dearth of childcare in the region, and that if we didn't get that fixed, we wouldn't be able to have workers going to work, because everybody wants their child to be in a safe space.
So they created one, and they accept the Share Subsidy program, which supports low-income families.
There's not many daycares in Ashland right now that accept the Wisconsin Share Subsidy program.
A grant from the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation helped them buy classroom supplies and furniture.
This is kind of our indoor gym space. We have a Luma Play, which is great because it's an interactive play space.
Kate Nabuzny says it's truly an early childhood center with curriculum and activities.
You had some new cool things that we've added to our classroom, some stuff that we've had donated and had people make for us, which is really cool. We're really focusing on getting that natural aspect in these classrooms.
And it gives parents like Hannah and Jason peace of mind for the most precious part of their lives.
So we're very thankful for them. They've been there. The staff is great. Yeah, they're an awesome place.
From making sure families have childcare options in underserved communities to making sure women's voices are heard, our next finalist in the inclusivity category is the Zeitgeist Center for Arts and Community. They are being recognized for the Year of the Woman project.
Hey, hey, ho, ho! Sexual violence has got to go!
The Me Too movement may feel like forever ago, but it's still inspiring women to come together.
A 4-woman rock metal murder musical.
And in our town helped inspire Zeitgeist to create an entire year of programming.
So in partnership with the University of Minnesota Duluth and the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation, we're thrilled to call 2019 the Year of the Woman.
That was from one of their flagship events, Cocktails and Conversations.
And I totally appreciate what you're saying, Mayor, about wanting to move things so that the next person can't undo what it is that you've done.
They highlighted victories, challenges, laughter, and tears. There was also art and music. Mary Bew spoke as part of a panel of musicians.
Yeah, it was ultimately very empowering and supportive. Like, I feel there's a lot of support right now, yeah, for women in music.
She just released her 8th album and is seeing big success, but says the industry is still dominated by men.
It's so important to raise our voices and have more representation.
Dionna Johnson, who's now performing as Afro Geode,
I'm gonna let it shine,
was also part of the conversation.
Living in a community that where there's just not a lot of representation of people that look like me in the music industry, it was important to provide my community with visibility.
A grant from the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation helped Zeitgeist connect with more women.
The definition of what it means to be a woman is so wide and varied. I think it's really important that we help get the message out to folks that say, you know, things look different than what you might think, and that's exciting.
And it all laid the groundwork for more programming in years to come. They are not done yet.
We're still here working as hard as we ever have been to build a community based on these ideas of creativity and inclusivity, and we're going to be here for a long time doing that work.
Obviously, great work by both of these projects, but the awards committee could only pick one winner. The winner of the 2020 Touchstone Award for Inclusivity is Evergrow Learning Center, and I had the opportunity to surprise them with this news.
So the reason that we called you together is to actually make a big announcement about that you are going to get this award.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, you won.
That's amazing. Oh my goodness, that's so exciting.
Plus, the additional grant is welcome news.
Right now, obviously with COVID and, the struggle of this past year, it's, we've definitely been trying to give back to the families as much as we can. So I think a big part of that is we've been really focusing on providing scholarship opportunities or giving discounts, as well as, it's a center. We always need new stuff and we're continually recycling through things.
And it's good timing. Evergrow is celebrating their first year anniversary of being open.
We had a lot of people telling us we couldn't do it. So to have that recognition, I think, is just such a really positive reinforcement to the work that went into it.
It really has been a collaborative community effort, and we've overcome a lot of hurdles and a lot of struggles to get to this point. And it is really gratifying to have all of our work be acknowledged. So thank you.
Congratulations again. And a quick note, the Ashland Area Development Corporation was also a big supporter of the project, but they are just part of a work that the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation supports. Let's learn more about the organization behind the Touchstone Awards and the project it has made possible since 1983.
Giving, engaging, working together. Those are the values of the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation. Since 1983, the Community Foundation has provided grants to nonprofits for community improvements. The work ranges from the arts, to education, to the environment, to economic success of those who call our region home. The Community Foundation also is well known as a provider of college scholarships. Every year, it offers nearly $1 million to students taking the next steps in their education, from high school graduates to adults improving their lives and careers. It all started in 1983, a time of uncertainty. The economy was struggling. Some wondered about the future of the Duluth Superior region, but a group of local leaders had faith. They knew Northeast Minnesota and Northwest Wisconsin needed a resource to keep the region strong. Innovative work, such as attracting and retaining young adults and helping citizens work better through Speak Your Piece, the Civility Project, have kept our region healthy and standing as an example nationally. Every year, the Community Foundation celebrates the best of the best nonprofit work with the Touchstone Awards. It's a time to see good work in action and recognize what can come from giving, engaging, and working together.
And there's much more from the 2020 Touchstone Awards ahead. We're focusing on efforts to enhance civic engagement, including a project that uses technology to open up new opportunities and conversations that are building bridges between Indigenous tribes and the communities where they live. You'll learn more about these efforts when the Touchstone Awards return.
Giving, engaging, working together. This is the 2020 Touchstone Awards.
Welcome back. Growing a sense of community and involvement in our community. That's the mission behind the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation's Civic Engagement Award. Our first finalist is the Lighthouse Center for Vision Loss and their project, Technology and Me. Their team is working very hard to make sure people with vision loss stay connected during this pandemic.
My name is Seija Tasaranta. Minun nimi on Seija Tasaranta.
A Finn tucked in the forest of the range, Seija still enjoys her homeland.
Paikoin sadetta tai sadekuuroja.
Her iPad makes it all possible.
This, and then I get radio stations, there's hundreds of them. I get news, interviews.
She bought one last year but didn't know how to use it. Thanks to guidance from the Lighthouse Center for Vision Loss, she's now able to read again.
I have Finnish books there, and I can read English book both.
Dealing with macular degeneration has been very hard, but the Lighthouse folks have helped lift her spirits by connecting her with another woman with vision loss.
She started calling me every week, and now we become really good friends.
For Carlene Schmidt, phone calls to her mother weren't enough. Her mom has dementia and lives in an assisted living facility.
During the COVID outbreak, struggling to meet the need of communication and personalization.
But with the help of Lighthouse, she was able to get an Echo show and now does video chats with her mom.
This has been a huge help as far as getting to see her and know that she's there every day.
Lighthouse has a program called Technology and Me and continues to help improve the lives of so many seniors. A grant from the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation has helped them set up the program for long-term success. That's also how Saya sees it. She still sews and works on art thanks to help from Lighthouse.
Well, I thought I never will be sewing again, and they helped me with this, with their techniques and skills.
All things she loves to do in her corner of the Northland.
Very thankful, thank you.
Can you say it in Finnish?
Kyllä. Kiitoksia oikein paljon avustanne. Kiitos.
And we should note the Lighthouse Center for Vision Loss is now the Lighthouse Center for Vital Living. Our last finalist is the Bad River Band of Lake Superior, Chippewa. This month marks the 3-year anniversary of Jason Perro's death, a teen shot by a deputy on the Bad River Reservation. The push towards healing is why the band is a finalist for a Touchstone Award from the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation. Their project, called Indigenizing Community Conversation, is helping improve the lines of communication, building trust with Indigenous tribes and their surrounding communities.
Jason was a caring, loving kid.
That was in 2017 during what was called a Unity Walk, an effort to acknowledge the anguish. And tribal leaders say it is still there.
Even though it's been 3 years, it's still very fresh, very fresh.
Essie Leoso Corbine, the Social and Family Services Director for the Bad River Band, says it was that overwhelming hurt that fueled something called Indigenizing Community Conversation.
It was a series of dinners and then a lot of activities that we got into circles.
And there, leaders from the surrounding communities had those tough talks about how to build better relationships and break down barriers and stereotypes.
We were able to meet some more of our neighbors. We were able to establish a trust with many of our neighbors that work both ways. And we want to see that grow.
A grant from the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation helped make the series happen. And although the events have wrapped up, the effort to improve communication and compassion is never done.
It's a long process for us, and but hope is there. It's hopeful, hope for change.
Well, 2 more important projects that made a difference and made the work of the awards committee very difficult. But the winner of the 2020 Touchstone Award for Civic Engagement is Indigenizing Community Conversation, and they are grateful for the opportunity to be able to further their work.
You know, we need to learn to communicate better with one another, and we need to understand our fears. And that's what we feel that when we were done with this project. Well, we're not done. We're still working on it. It's still moving forward. There's still a lot of work, as you can see, that needs to happen. And I'm thinking, what a better time to move forward with this project, to continue it. I don't think it should ever be done.
Well, the Northland has many people who give freely of their time and talents. And when we return, we'll introduce you to a couple who continue to give back along the Gunflint. You're watching the 2020 Touchstone Awards here on WDIO.
Giving, engaging, working together. This is the 2020 Touchstone Awards.
Tonight, we've seen so much great work. Our region has always been known for a deeper kind of generosity. People who give their time and make commitments, sometimes lasting a lifetime, to make sure they leave the place they call home a better place. That's exactly why we recognize Bruce and Sue Kerfoot tonight with the 2020 Touchstone Award for Generosity for a lifelong commitment of sharing the beauty and wonder of the Gunflint Trail with thousands of visitors.
I'm a native of the trail, and my mother was one of the first white women to move into the territory permanently, and I was one of the first white kids born up there. And I've lived all my life on the Gunflint.
Bruce Kerfoot grew up among the sights and sounds of nature.
Is there a better place to live in the world? The water is still so pure, you can dip a cup of drinking water out of the lakes.
He and his wife, Sue, ran the Gunflint Lodge for more than 50 years.
We started out as this rustic fishing camp, and I turned around and rebuilt the whole resort. Slowly, incrementally.
They also were into the outfitting business. Not easy, but so rewarding, sharing the glory of the wilderness with so many.
Some of these people would come back in subsequent years saying how much it had meant to them and how much it had made a difference in their lives. And maybe some of them straightened them out a little bit even.
During that time, they raised a family and helped build their community one ambulance at a time.
My wife and I were founding members of. We were both EMTs, and my wife was an EMT trainer.
The garage was on their property, and Bruce was often the first out the door with the rig. He recalls one particularly memorable call.
We have, up until recently at least, had a record of recovery for the coldest known hypothermic reaction on an adult in the United States.
He served on the school board, was a scoutmaster, and ended up being a national representative for outfitting and recreational funds. More recently, he and Sue helped get the Chippewa Museum up and going.
We were one of a half a dozen people that had a little dream about having a museum reflective of the heritage of our community, our history and everything.
They've been open for over a decade, and they get 9,000 visitors a summer, all who walk away with a better understanding about this unique corner of our world. Here's Sue narrating about it.
We're really telling the story of the people, prehistoric people, the Native Americans, the voyageurs, the miners, the loggers, the resorters, and the residents of the area.
And Bruce stays busy making items for the gift shop.
We've got this group of Chippewa called Sawdust Seniors, which is how we've labeled our group of old guys.
Now the couple has been honored for their seemingly unending support for their community with the Generosity Award from the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation. They were surprised.
I guess you don't participate in this stuff seeking recognition or seeking someone to wave the flag over your head.
Because for them, it's just their way of life.
We have a little proud community. We're helping each other. We solve our challenges. We're proud to share it, but we want to invite people to come and appreciate it and learn.
And now you've learned more about their legacy.
Because in fact, it is the people who have made the Gunflint Trail.
And I caught up with Bruce and Sue recently to talk about more about their Generosity Award and how they will use their $2,500 grant.
We would like to have our stipend go to Chippewa for a building project that they have, which I'm kind of involved with a little bit. We're planning to convert an existing small log cabin down on the lake into a replica of a trapper's cabin, trapper's shack.
As for their win, well, they hope it generates more support for funding and foundations.
Maybe this recognition will wake up a few of our neighbors, and maybe that will make them a little more generous in support of the community fund, because it's just a very nice honor on our part to be recognized and for something we didn't even know existed out there.
I think the other thing is that it shows what a very small group of people in the middle of nowhere can do if they work at it. They have a defined thing they want to achieve, and they do it, and they enjoy it.
And we barely scratch the surface of all the work the Kerfoots do to improve their community. They really represent what the Generosity Award was created to recognize.
Congratulations to all of tonight's winners. None of this would be possible without the incredible generosity of the Community Foundation's many donors. They provide the funds to support these important projects. But it's more than that. We also want to note the generosity of our sponsors who make the Touchstone Awards possible and allows us to bring you the stories of the nominees and winners. Thank you to our sponsors, and especially to WDIO. You help us tell these important stories and share them with our entire region.
Thank you, Dave, and thank you for helping us celebrate the amazing work of all of these groups and individuals helping to make the Northland a great place to live, work, and play. If you'd like to learn more about the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation, head to their website, dsacommunityfoundation.com. That's where you can find out how to donate to support good work in our region. Well, that wraps up the 2020 Touchstone Awards. We'll be back next year to recognize more great people and programs in our communities. Congratulations again to our finalists and winners. Thanks to all of you for watching.